external diameters. Both we need to be okay. So simply I can say the morphology of the material. Okay, the morphology of the material, less than that of nano in size. Okay, so we call as the nanomaterials. Irrespective of any materials, it may be a carbon or it may be a metals or it may be like any carbohydrates or any polysaccharides or any minerals or salts, and so all we can able to list out. Okay, so but only the criteria is the size of the material or the morphology of the material should be nano in size. Okay, right. So the second thing is here the biofuel. Second thing is the biofuel, and third is the biofuel. What is this bioenergy and biofuel? Let me tell you. The biofuel is nothing but any fuel, irrespective of the type or like whatever it is, or in the case of the farm. Okay, so basically it is derived from a biomass, so that we call as the biofuels. So very layman can say that a simple we can say that fuel is derived from the biomass, it's called as the biofuel. Okay, but why we need to go for the biofuel is, so I think all of you know about that, whatever the like the fossil fuels is going to out of our control, and almost we are exploited as much as. So it is exhausted. Okay. So we don't know that in 2000 or otherwise maybe another 50 years or another 75 years, whatever the fuels is there. So maybe it can be used. Okay. But whether these will be feasible or not for most the next generations, whether they will use or not, we don't know. So in that cases, so we need to find out the alternate fuels. Okay. So here it is the biofuel is we are derived from the biomass, so that we call it the biofuel. And this biofuel will act as the alternate fuel. Okay. So that's why actually we need to go for that. Right. That is the plant or algae material or animal waste. Since such feedstock material can be depleted readily, so we can process it and we can get it out of the biofuel. That's why we are taking. So these are the materials, are source materials we can able to get to a biofuel. Like that we are considering. And moreover, this biofuel is considered to be a source for the renewable energy. Okay, I said that alternate energy or renewable energy. What does it mean the alternate energy and what does it mean the renewable energy? Is both are same? Both are same. So there is a substitution for the fuel is nothing but the alternate. Okay, but whether this alternate fuel is continuously is the renewable by naturally. In that cases, then we call it the renewable energy. Okay, without any tedious process, the simple methods can be used to get from the natural itself. Okay, example wind energy, solar energy, geothermal. Geothermal also, some extent we can, but mostly we cannot go with the some extent we can, and natural gas. And then we can go with biofuels. So these materials we can substitute as the renewable energy. We are calling this. Okay. So the biofuel is considered to be a source for the renewable energy. So I think simple understanding about where of the biofuels. Okay, right. So moving to that, the bioenergy again. The bioenergy is nothing but again when we use plants and other organic material to generate energy. Okay, the word here where we are used in the biofuel. Now it is derived from the biomass. Okay, when we use plants and other organic material to generate energy, we call it bioenergy. So what is generate and derive? Generate and derive. What is the difference between that? Generate நானும் ஒண்ணுதானே, derive நானும் ஒண்ணுதானே அப்படிங்களா? இல்ல. Okay. So derived அப்படிங்கிறது வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா the material which are used to processing it to get the biofuel. So some methods are employed for processing of your source material to get your biofuels. Okay, where we are actually the organic material is used to generate. Say example, biomass is having the bagasse is there. Okay, use of bagasse you can able to get the biofuel as well as the bioenergy. How it is possible? Bagasse is the karbu chakka. हम बोल रहे हैं karbu chakka का bagasse. The karbu chakka use பண்ணி you can get one side is the biofuel and another side is the bioenergy. ரெண்டுமே கிடைக்கும். எப்படி? The methods used for the deriving of biofuels something is different from the like the bioenergy. Like say example, if you go for the fermentation process that are used for the bagasse to convert this bagasse into like cellulose and this cellulose into like the ethanol. So this is the way that the fermentation that we can carry out so that we get your biofuel at the end of the fermentation process. Whereas here the bagasse is taken into the boiler and that the feed for the boiler as the fuel and we burn the whatever the bagasse for the boiler and we get the heat energy. And this heat energy is applied for the water and that water is converted into the thermal energy and this thermal energy is fed to the steam turbines where we can generate the electricity. Okay, again that is also is a bioenergy. Okay, so the methods that employed and for the fuel we call is the biofuel or derived சொல்றோம். இங்க வந்து பார்த்தா generate வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா energy அது சரியா? So that is the main difference in the like derived and generate. Right. Bioenergy is a form of renewable energy generated when we burn biomass as a fuel. Okay, very simple. எரிச்சு அப்படின்னா அதுலேருந்து வெளில வரக்கூடிய எனர்ஜியை யூஸ் பண்ணி some energy we are going to produce. Okay, அதுதான் வந்து சொல்றாங்க bioenergy. Right, biomass fuels come from organic material such as harvested residues and purpose grown crops. Purpose grown crops. So every காடி வந்து agriculture land வந்து create பண்ணுவோம். அதே மாதிரி sometimes we need to cultivate that residues, biomass residues. We can cultivate in the land, and that is taken for the the material for the biofuel or the asset fuel. Okay, so we can sometimes cattle feed also they will cultivate. US now போனீங்க அப்படின்னா வந்து ஒரு ஃபார்மிங் வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா அதே ஒரு ஏக்கர் கணக்கில் இருக்கு அப்படின்னா மொத்த ஏக்கருக்குமே வந்து பேடி கல்டிவேட் பண்ணுவாங்க. Even if you are cultivating paddy, at the end of the day we can get the rice straw is the feed for the animals. That is the one part. Okay, and some cases if paddy is not required, then whatever the purposely like the farm, the cow farm, animal farms are here. So adula vandha enna பண்ணுவாங்கன்னா they will cultivate purposely for the short duration like crops like வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா feed for the cattle and animals. So அதை cultivate பண்ணி அங்க அதை பண்ணுவாங்க. ஏன் அப்படின்னா the return of investment அப்படின்னு பார்க்கும்போது நீங்க பேட் கல்டிவேட் பண்ணி அதுலேருந்து வந்து அதுக்கப்புறம் காடியை தனியாக பிரித்து அதுக்கப்புறம் ரைஸாக தனியாக பிரித்து அதை திரும்ப கேபிள் கொடுக்கும்போது அதில் இருக்கக்கூடிய சத்து வந்து பார்த்து கம்மியாக இருக்கும். ரைஸ் கார்டில் இருக்கக்கூடிய சத்து வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா வந்து நியூட்ரியன்ஸ் வந்து ரொம்ப கம்மியாக இருக்கும். இதே வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஃபார் த கேபிள் ஃபீட் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு கிராப்ஸ் இஃப் யூ ஆர் கோயிங் டு கல்டிவேட் யூ வில் கெட் rich in carbohydrates that will help to grow for the cattle and these cattle used for the milk. Okay, so அதுக்காக பர்பஸ்ஃபுல்லாக பண்ணுவாங்க. ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி இடத்துல வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா அதுக்காக டெவலப் பண்ணும். சேம் மேனர் the purpose grown the crops like example ஜெட்ரோபா. ஸோ ஜெட்ரோபா வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஒரு 10 to 5 years முன்னாடி வந்து there was enormous farmers because we are like it is alternate fuel and then it is readily used for the conversion of the biodiesel and this biodiesel is used for the automobile industries அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு வந்த உடனே நிறைய அங்கங்க வந்து ஜெட்ரோஸ். So only the purpose they are used for the conversion of the biodiesel. அதுக்காக யூஸ் பண்ணுவோம். So in such a manner that the purpose grown craft and organic waste is from our bones. Okay. So what is our bones are produced and what is the organic waste? Yeah, food waste, vegetable waste, kitchen waste, human waste. So இதெல்லாம். So example வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா earlier days வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா எனக்கு தெரிஞ்சு ஒரு 20 years முன்னாடிலாம் வந்து அந்த ஊர்ல பெரிய ஒரு கலை இருந்துச்சுன்னா அந்த வீட்டில் வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா தலைவர் வீட்டில் ஸோ சோபா கேஸ் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி கொடுத்துருப்பாங்க பிளான் ஆனதுக்கு டைஜஸ்டர் யூஸ் பண்ணி வர ஃபீடை ஃபுட்டாக அதை தள்ளிடுவாங்க. அதுலேருந்து வரக்கூடிய அந்த மீத்தேன் கேஸ் வந்து கனெக்ட் வந்து ஒரு ஸ்டவ்வோட கனெக்ட் பண்ணி வச்சுருப்பாங்க. இது இயர்ஸாகவே போயிட்டு இருக்கு. It is the earlier days. Almost வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஒரு 20 years back. Yeah, some places still it is existing, but most of that the conventional fuel like LPG is came into the market, so immediately they are stopped because that yield and the time of the process for cooking is somewhat is delayed your gobar gas. Because this is a traditional method and where the anaerobic digestion is works properly only you get the gas unless you can't, and also that amount of gas is generated in the anaerobic digestion is very minimal amount, so you can't use the entire day, and if it is a rainy day totally collapse. So that the conversion fuel when it enters into the market obviously that they are easy method and user friendly method, so that what it is shifted to the LPG. Okay, so the whatever the organic waste from our home they use for the biogas generation and the businesses and the farms again. So where the businesses is large scale and there also some of the organic waste and the materials comes out of the farm. So that is used for that the feeder. Okay. Alright. So moving to that, I think many of the researchers and many of the presentations is so long from the day 1 to till date. So everyone is said that the different categories of the biofuels or bioenergy. Okay. So in that category, that the first generation biofuel, second generation biofuel, third generation biofuel, and fourth generation biofuel. These are the different category of the biofuels. Okay. So actually we are the stance in the first two are commercially existed in the market and they are also produced from the laboratory scale to commercial plant also is exhibited. But whereas the third generation, the fourth generation is still in the pipeline and they are in the pilot study only. They are not commercialized. If we researchers focus in this area like the third generation, fourth generation, you will get definitely some of the funding from the funding agencies. Okay, right. Moving to here, I think first generation biofuel is nothing but it has the high carbon content. Then only you can able to get the biofuel. Basically, and that mainly that example is like edible items like sugar, corn starch, etc. That is used as the biofuel production. So like any biofuel which are derived from the source is nothing but the sugar, corn starch, then it is the first generation biofuel. Okay. And second generation biofuels is nothing but the greenhouse gas content less than first generation biofuel. We call as the second generation biofuel. And basically it is derived from the rice hulls, the wood chips, etc. But the example, the wood chips is very difficult to get. The conversion of the ligocellulose into the cellulose is very tough. Because as we all know that tree stems consist of 3 layers, right? What are the layers are there in this tree stems? Yeah, it has the cellulose, hemicellulose, and then the lignin. So lignin is quite difficult to subtract from these two materials. Because lignin has the tendency, it has the very high polysaccharides. So what will happen is that, it is subtracting from the cellulose and hemicellulose, thereafter we can go for the process, is quite easy. If along with the lignin, if you are going to process it, it is very difficult. You can't achieve or you can't convert this whatever the lignin into the simpler form of the sugar. You can't. There is no technology existed as of now. Okay, still the people are trying for conversion of the lignin into the simple sugar. It's quite ocean. Okay, there is no technology available. Still the research is going on for the conversion of the lignin into the polysaccharides, the simple sugars. So, right, whatever the material is there, okay, the material, first of all what they will do is, we need to bring down into the simple sugar. Then only we can convert as the biofuel, otherwise we can't. Okay, so in this aspect that the conversion of the polysaccharide into the simple sugar from the use of the lignin is quite difficult. There is no methodologies available, there is no chemicals or methods are not exhibited. If it is any strong form, the knowledge or the research is in the cases, there is a chance for conversion of the biofuels. Okay, right. And third generation biofuel, it is a carbon neutral. In the case of that, whatever the CO2 from the atmosphere or otherwise any automobile devices or anywhere else, whatever in high areas where the CO2 is generated, accordingly we are going to harvest that CO2 and that is the source or the substrate for the algae feedstock. So use of the algae, we can convert this algae into the biofuels. So that is the method is nothing but we call it the third generation biofuel. And where the fourth generation biofuel is required is the genetically modified microbial species involved for the conversion of the biofuels. So that technology still is in the pipeline. Okay. So some of the algal mutations or microbial mutations are going on. So still there is no justified or proper yield giving microorganisms not identified so far. Okay. Okay, if it is identified, then definitely we will get the good amount of the conversion in this fourth generation biofuels. Okay, so these are the the different categories of the biofuels, right? Right. Already we have seen that what is nanomaterials, and the nanomaterials is according to their internal size or external size. Then we call it that if this looks into the nano in size, then we call it the nano materials episode. So how we can be able to see this as the nanomaterials? Without any the microscopy? No. We need to go for some kind of a cell tail, so that we can be able to see the morphology of the particles. Okay. What is the cell? The scanning electron microscope. And what is the tail? Transmission microscope. What is the difference between cell and tail? Surface physical whereas magnetic transmission. So here several nanoparticles have been used to produce biofuels, especially on the titanium dioxide and ferrous oxide and tin oxide, zinc oxide and carbon with the unique properties that are used for the mostly for the conversion of the biofuels. Okay, right. In the application of nanomaterials, biofuels and bioenergy. Monday to Tuesday that one day சின்ன மேட்டர் சரியா கார்பன் பார்ட்டிகல்ஸ் முதல்ல எதாவது ஒண்ணுனா டிரைவ் எப்படி டிரைவ் பண்ணுவீங்க வீட்ல நம்ம எரிக்கிறது தெரியுமா அடுத்து இருக்கும்போது கார்பன் பார்ட்டிகல்ஸ் கழிவு இருக்குல்ல அதுதான் வந்து என்னது கார்பன் அந்த கார்பனை நம்ம என்ன பண்றோம் பவுடர் ஆக்கிட்டு நல்லா ஃபைனா கிரைண்ட் பண்ணிட்டு அதை என்ன பண்றோம் அகைன் வந்து ஆக்டிவேட் பண்றோம் ஏன் அப்படின்னா ஏற்கனவே நீங்க வந்து பர்ன் பண்ணும்போது அதில் இருக்கக்கூடிய சார்ஜிங் கேப்பபிலிட்டி அது பாயிண்டிங் கேப்பபிலிட்டி இருக்கக்கூடிய அது இது எல்லாமே என்ன போயிருக்கும் வெளியில போயிருக்கும் ஸோ அப்போ அந்த சர்ஃபேஸை வந்து அதை அப்சர்வ் ப்ராப்பர்ட்டியை வந்து இன்க்ரீஸ் பண்ணுறதுக்கு தான் நம்ம என்ன பண்ணுறோம் சார்ஜ் பண்ணுறோம் சார்ஜ் பண்ணுறதுனா பெருசாக ஒன்றும் இல்லை நம்ம எடுத்து நம்ம சார்ஜ் பண்ணுறோம் அது கிடையாது ஆசிட் வாஷ் அல்கலிக் வாஷ் பண்ணாலே சிம்பிள் வாஷ் பண்ணினாலே என்ன ஆகும் உங்களோட கார்பன் பார்ட்டிகல்ஸ் வந்து சார்ஜ் ஆகிடும் அதுதான் பெருசு ஸோ ஒன்ஸ் சார்ஜ் ஆகிடுச்சுன்னா என்னது அதுதான் வந்து கார்பன் நானோமெட்டீரியல்ஸ் ஓகே புரியுதா பெருசா இங்கடா போய் எடுத்துட்டாலும் உண்மை நீ ஈவன் ரைஸ்டாக அப்படியே வச்சு கொளுத்தி விட்டுட்டு அது என்னன்னா கம்ப்ளீட்டாக பர்ன் ஆகிடுது இஃப் யூ கம்ப்ளீட் பர்ன் ஐ திங்க் சாக்கெட் நான் நிறைய சொல்லியிருப்பேன் So there was a combustion is taken place means we need to supply the oxygen. Okay, if you are going to supply the sufficient amount of oxygen to the reactor, then what will happen? The material is completely gone. If you are cut off the oxygen, what will happen? There is a partial combustion is taken place. So here also you need to go for kind of a partial combustion. So the partial combustion தான் நம்ம என்ன பண்ணுவோம் அப்படின்னா வந்து furnace okay. So furnace முன்னாடி என்ன furnace அப்படின்னா நீங்க சிம்பிளா நம்ம வந்து நகை கடையெல்லாம் போயிருக்கீங்களா அங்க வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா நகையை மெல்ட் பண்ணிடுவோம் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஃபார் கோல்டு மெல்ட்டிங்க்கு அதை என்ன பண்ணுறோம் furnace அப்படின்னு இல்லையா ஸோ அப்போ கார்பன் மெல்ட் பண்ண முடியும் எனி மெட்டல்ஸ் எனி லைக் நீ நானும் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா கார்பன் பண்ணணும் அங்கே வந்து என்ன பண்ணணும் யூ நீட் டு டூ சம் கைண்ட் ஆஃப் சைஸ் ரிடக்ஷன் அவ்வளோதான் வேற எதுவுமே இல்லை ஓகே சைஸ் ரிடக்ஷன் வந்து பண்ண போறீங்க அவ்வளோதான் சைஸ் ரிடக்ஷன் பண்ணுறது நம்ம எரிக்கிறது வேற ஒன்றும் இல்லை அப்போ போன் பண்ணும்போது நான் சைஸ் ரிடக்ஷன் ஆகும் அந்த கார்பன் வந்து we are getting once you whatever the carbon is converted that you are going to do some fine grinding after fine grinding you need to wash it with the distilled water and thereafter you need to wash with the alkali substance and acid substance alkali again acid again வந்து வேற ஒன்றும் இல்லை alkali அப்படிங்கிறது வந்து NaOH RKOH hydroxide groups that is present in the substance which is called as alkali nothing but it has the more hydroxide groups and alkali வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா sorry acidic வந்து என்ன ஆகும் hydrogen மட்டும் இருக்கு alkali வந்து கொஞ்சம் கம்மியா இருக்கும் right so in the case of that என்னது H2SO4 right அதுக்கு வேற என்ன இருக்கு HCl இதெல்லாம் நம்ம எடுத்துக்கலாம் எக்ஸாம்பிள் so அப்ப அதெல்லாம் வந்து நம்ம யூஸ் பண்ணி நம்ம என்ன பண்றோம் வாஷ் பண்ணி நம்ம அந்த கார்பன் பார்ட்டிகல்ஸ் சப்ட்ராக்ட் பண்ணிட்டு ட்ரை பண்ணிட்டு அதுக்கு அப்புறம் எடுத்து போய் செக் பண்ணா if it is a nano in size வந்து பார்த்தா it has the 100 nanometer இருக்குது அப்படினா then what it is called as the carbon nanomaterials so அப்போ இதே போல தான் மத்ததுக்கு அப்படினா ஆமா so right hand max அதுல தான் கண்டுபிடிக்கிறோம் and then வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ferrous oxide அப்போ அதுதான் தெரியும் வேற ஒண்ணு தெரியும் iron and then வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா tin oxide tin and again silver right அதுக்கு அடுத்து வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா zinc oxide okay அதுக்கு அடுத்து என்ன பண்றோம் carbon with unique properties we need to see if it is unique properties is there then what is that the conversion will be so unique property in the sense of that nanomaterials means the absorption capacity the surface properties should be higher that very சரிங்களா right so these are the examples of the nanomaterials அப்போ இந்த nanomaterials யூஸ் பண்ணா நாம என்ன பண்ண போறோம் இந்த கன்வர்ஷன் வந்து பண்ண போறோம் அது கன்வர்ஷன் பண்ணும்போது you will get the biofuels so those biofuels வந்து பார்த்தா வந்து you can use for the cycle fuel for the any automobile vehicles சரி right going why nanomaterials in biofuel production ஏன்னா முன்னாடியே வந்து நீங்க என்டர்னாட்டிக் சாக்ரிஃபிகேஷனோ இல்ல வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா மைக்ரோபியல் ரிடக்ஷனோ இல்ல மைக்ரோபியல் கன்வர்ஷனோ போட்டா நடக்க போகுது இல்ல சிம்பிள் வந்து பாத்தீங்க அப்படின்னா டிரான்ஸ்ஃபர்மேஷன் போட்டீங்கன்னா கன்வர்ஷன் நடக்க போகுது அது ஏன் why we need to go for the nanomaterials அப்படின்னா the finest like reactions is taken place in the case of the system. Okay. அப்போ the finest reaction அப்படிங்கிறது வந்து என்னது நானோ லெவல்ல ரியாக்ஷன் நடக்குது அப்படின்னு சொல்றாங்க. ஓகே. ஸோ ஈவன் இப்போலாம் வந்து பார்த்தீங்க அப்படின்னா இந்த கேப்சூல் வருது இல்லை ஜோரத்துக்கு வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா கேப்சூல் வந்து பார்த்தீங்க அப்படின்னா கேப்சூல் இருக்கு டேப்லெட் இல்லையா பட் இந்த கேப்சூல் டேப்னா என்ன கேப்சூல் டேப்லெட் அப்படிங்கிறது வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா நல்லா பெருசாக வந்து நான் எதுவும் கவனம் இருக்காது அப்படியே இது இருக்கும் அது அப்படியே வாய்ப்பு சரியா கேப்சூல் அப்படிங்கிறது வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ரெண்டு இது இருக்கும் உள்ள வந்து பவுடர்ஸ் வந்து ஃபில் பண்ணிருக்காங்க வாட்ஸ் தி டிஃபரன்ஸ் பிட்வீன் திஸ் டூ மெட்டீரியல்ஸ் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஆஃப் ஆல் the active ingredients are filled in the case of the capsule whereas in the tablet வந்து active ingredient இருக்காது the active ingredient only glucose amount but when it is dissolved in our gastric juices only it will be activated okay whereas the active ingredient இங்கே வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா capsule வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா அதை காட்டில capsule காட்டில இங்க வந்து capsule வந்து ஜாஸ்தியா இருக்கு ஓகே சோ அதனால தான் என்ன பண்றோம் இங்க capsule வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா active ingredients நிறைய வச்சிருக்கோம் moreover வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா the enzyme based derived materials are அப்படினா capsule இருக்கும் okay and by the synthetic method ல வந்து நீங்க antibodies ப்ரொடியூஸ் பண்ணிட்டீங்கன்னா பவுடர் ஃபார்ம்ல அது வந்து என்னவா இருக்கும் உங்களுக்கு tablet அப்ப ரெண்டுல எது பெஸ்ட் அப்படினா capsule தான் பெஸ்ட் ஏன் அப்படினா the amount of வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா inert material is used in the case of the capsule வந்து பார்த்தீங்க அப்படினா கம்மி whereas the capsule வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஜாஸ்தி அதான் மொத்தமா இவ்வளவு பெஸ்ட் அதுக்கு இங்க இப்போ வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா என்னது அது ஆக்சுவலி இப்படியே வந்து ஆன்டிஜெனோ ஆன்டிபாடி வந்து என்னது ட்ரேஸ் அமௌண்ட் எவ்வளோ மைக்ரோகிராம் 0.500 மைக்ரோகிராம் 650 mg சொல்றோம் இல்லையா 650 mg சொல்றோம் இல்லையா என்ன 650 mg என்ன 650 mg போடுறாங்க இல்லையா mg என்னது mg போடுறாங்கல என்னது that is the concentration of the your antibody present in the capsule புரியுதுங்களா அதனால தான் அந்த நேம் வச்சாங்க சோ அதை எதை பேஸ் பண்ணி நம்ம டிசைட் பண்றாங்க டாக்டர்ஸ் அப்படினா based upon our weight சோ அதனால தான் எந்த டாக்டர் கிட்ட போனா ஃபர்ஸ்ட் என்ன பார்ப்பாங்க சோ முதல்ல weight போடு ஏன்னா that weight is decided what concentration of the tabs to suggest for the pills அவ்வளவுதான் வேற ஒண்ணுமே இல்லை ரைட் சோ அதனால வெயிட் போட்டுட்டு அதுக்கப்புறம் அவர்கிட்ட போய் நோக்காவது சொன்னாங்கன்னா அவர் என்ன பண்ணுவாரு ஒரு 650 போவாரு இல்ல கம்மியா வந்துரும் 500 போவாரு இல்ல அது கம்மியா போகும் இது அதுவும் கம்மியா போகும் ஓகே ரைட் சோ இந்த மாதிரி நம்ம எழுதி போறோம் ரைட் சோ அதே மாதிரி அந்த கேப்சூல்ல வந்து இருக்கும்போது வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா எல்லாமே வந்து பார்ட்டிகல்ஸ் வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா லைக் இட்ஸ் நாட் நானோ தட்ஸ் a micro ஓகே மைக்ரோ பார்ட்டிகல்ஸ் தான் உண்டு அப்ப அந்த மைக்ரோ பார்ட்டிகல்ஸ் வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா சின்ன இருக்குல கழு சைஸ்ல இருக்கும் சோ அப்ப அது என்ன உள்ள போறனே கரெக்ட்டா டிசால்வ் உங்களோட கேப்சூல் வந்து இதே வந்து டேப்லெட் உள்ள போனா எவ்வளவு ஆகும் the dissolving solubility of these two is difference so obviously அப்போ reaction வந்து பார்த்தா ஃபாஸ்டா இருக்கும் சோ அப்போ எப்போ கேப்சூல் எடுக்கும் டேப்லெட் இருக்காது சோ அப்போ அது கம்மியா இருக்கும் ரைட் சோ அந்த மாதிரி reactions வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா nano materials if you are going to use in your particular system the finest even very finest at the nano level also the reaction is taking place okay so இங்க டேப்லெட்டா எடுக்கும்போது என்ன ஆகுது உங்களுக்கு டேப்லெட்டா குளோபல் இருக்கு அப்போ சர்ஃபேஸ் எல்லாம் டைல்யூட் ஆகி கரஞ்சி அதுக்கப்புறம் உள்ள இருக்கிற ஆக்டிவ் இன்கிரிடியன்ட்ஸ் போய் ரீச் ஆகி இது எல்லாத்தையும் எடுக்கிறதுக்கு மினிமம் வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா வந்து எவ்வளவு நேரம் இருக்கும் ஒரு 5 மினிட்ஸ் இருக்குமா 5 மினிட்ஸ் இருக்குமா இதே வந்து ஆக்டிவ் இன்கிரிடியன்ட்ஸ் போட்டது என்ன ஆகும் அடுத்த 20 செகண்ட்ஸ் எல்லா ரியாக்ஷன் that is why so we are preferably go for the nano material okay right so என்ன பண்றாங்க அப்படினா இதுல ஒரு சின்ன எக்ஸாம்பிள் கொடுக்க பார்க்கலாம் so waste materials எடுக்கணும் அந்த waste material வந்து ப்ரீ-ட்ரீட் பண்றாங்க ப்ரீ-ட்ரீட் பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறம் addition of nano materials போறோம் so the nano materials used to optimize and improve the bioenergy production from the waste so again வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா any type of the reaction ஆகணும் whether you are using the nano materials for the reaction or the conventional methods of the like any solids or any liquids for the reaction the basic the general optimization strategy okay நம்மளே ஒரு கடைக்கு போறோம் நேரா போனோடனே வந்து ட்ரெஸ் அப்படியே எல்லாம் டிசைன் பண்ணி வந்துடணுமா? இல்ல, ஃபர்ஸ்ட் என்ன பண்றோம், பேஸ்ட் அப்பான் அவர் சைஸ்க்கு முதல்ல வந்து இருக்கா அந்த செக்ஷன் மட்டும் போதும். கரெக்ட்டா? அப்ப அங்க என்ன, ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஆப்டிமைசேஷன் முடிச்சா செகண்ட் ஆப்டிமைசேஷன் ஆகுது. அகைன் உள்ள போகும்போது ரேஞ்சஸ் வந்து வைக்கலாம். எவ்வளவு ரேஞ்சு? மினிமம் ஸ்டார்ட் வித் 1700, மேக்ஸிமம் 5000. அப்ப என்ன பண்றோம், அதை ஸ்கிப் பண்ணி அதுக்கு போறோம். நம்மளுடைய பட்ஜெட் வந்து இவ்வளவு தான், ஒரு 250 ல இருந்து 600 or 700 அவ்வளவுதான் பட்ஜெட். அப்ப என்ன பண்றோம், செகண்ட் ஆப்டிமைசேஷன். அப்ப என்ன பண்றோம், காஸ்ட் வைஸ் ஆப்டிமைசேஷன் பண்றோம். அடுத்து நம்ம தேர்ட் அகைன் வந்து என்ன பண்றோம், கலர். சோ நிறைய கலர் இருக்கு. எனக்கு இந்த கலர் போட்டா தான் எனக்கு என்னமோ நல்லா இருக்கும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு நம்ம என்ன பண்றோம், அது அப்போ தேர்ட் ஆப்டிமைசேஷன். அதுக்கு ஃபோர்த் என்ன பண்றோம், அதோட விடுமா இல்ல, திருப்பி எடுத்து போய் என்ன பண்றோம், ட்ரையல் போட்டு அதை நம்ம போட்டு பார்த்து நல்லா ஓகே நல்லா இருக்கு அப்படின்னு சாட்டிஸ்ஃபை ஆனதுக்கு அப்புறம் நம்ம என்ன பண்றோம், ஃபோர்த் ஆப்டிமைசேஷன். அந்த பிசிக்கலா தான் வரும். அதுக்கப்புறம் நேரத்துக்கு பில்டிங். ஓகே, அப்போ ஒரு சின்ன ஒரு காத்து நம்ம மெட்டீரியல் பை பண்றதுக்கு மினிமம் எத்தனை ஆப்டிமைசேஷன் தேவைப்படுது, 4 to 5 ஆப்டிமைசேஷன் வந்து நமக்கு தேவைப்படுது. Right. So, in the case of here, the good chemical reaction or good conversion of this waste to bioenergy, we need to optimize the based upon that nature, based upon the environmental conditions, so that only you can be able to get the biofuels. Right. So, இப்போ நான் சொன்னேன் இல்லையா, நீங்க வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா நீங்க சாலிட்ஸும் போட்டு ரியாக்ஷன் நடக்கும்போது என்ன ஆகும், சிம்பிள் எக்ஸாம்பிள் வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா like solubility of the capsule. The same manner here is the solubility. Again, the solubility again in the form of like contact between the substrate as well as the catalyst. So if it is that the speed is more, again the speed of chemical reaction is plays a vital role for the conversion of this material into the biofuel. Okay, how far the reaction is taken place? One will our petrol எடுத்து ஊத்திட்டு நான் பத்த வச்சாங்க, என்ன ஆகும், என்ன ஆகும், உடனே பாத்தீங்க. அதே கெரோசின் ஊத்துறேன், பெட்ரோலோட அது என்ன பண்ணும், கெரோசின் அதுவும் எரியும், ஆனா கொஞ்சமா எரியும். சரி, அதே சமயத்துல என்ன பண்றோம், தேங்காய் எண்ணெய் ஊத்துறேன். வீட்டில் வந்து விளக்கேற்றதுக்கு கீ யூஸ் பண்றோம். அதுக்கப்புறம் வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா வந்து விளக்கெண்ணெய் யூஸ் பண்றோம், நிறைய ஆயில் யூஸ் பண்றோம். அதெல்லாம் திருப்பி போட்டு நம்ம பற்ற வைக்கும் போது என்ன ஆகும், அதுவும் எரியும், ஆனா ஸ்லோவா. ஓகே, பிகாஸ் viscosity is present in the material plays a vital role. Okay, so in such a manner that, right, so the bonding is there. Okay, so in this aspect, if you are going to see all this calorific value and viscosity and pure property of your material, look into the picture. Okay, so according to the conversion material. Okay, so in this case, that again the same manner, where waste is here, the nanomaterials. So how far the reaction is taken. Okay, so that the conversion will be there. So here that I said it's a better interaction will be there, solubility will be there, and yield obviously we have to look into the picture. If you look into the picture as the yield, it is nothing but what? The amount of biodiesel how you are obtaining in the ஒரு லிட்டர் வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா கன்வென்ஷன் மெத்தட் கிடைக்குது அப்படின்னா, ரைட், அது ஈஸியா இல்ல 5 லிட்டர் வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா வந்து நானோ மெட்டீரியல்ஸ் போட்டு யூஸ் பண்றாங்க அப்படின்னா ஈஸியா, எதுக்கு யூஸ்? சோ நமக்கு 5 லிட்டர் தான் இருக்கு. ஓகே, சோ அதனால that's why it is obviously preferring that the nano materials, right? So even the drug delivery system for the human body, now the nano materials are plays a vital role. The same manner in all the sector, the conversion of the materials, nanomaterials is the plays a vital role. So among that, the bioenergy is one of the topic. Okay, right. So here the biofuels such as the ethanol, these are the biobutanols we are getting out of this reaction. So finally the conclusion of that, the use of nanomaterials, we can improve the yield and selectivity and the quality of the biodiesel is very good compared to the other conventional methods. That's the conclusion that we are coming to that. Okay, right. So these are the applications of nanomaterials in the biofuel production, like different places that they can use, like cellulose production, and then the cellulose thermal stability and biohydrogen production, sugar production, pre-treatment of biomass and waste management. These are all the sectors that we like to nanomaterials are used to convert that materials into the biofuels. So I am going to select you some 2 or 3 I am going to take it for that explanation. So one is that like nanomaterials used in the waste management. Okay. So ஏற்கனவே wasteல வந்து பாத்தீங்க அப்படினா வந்து nanomaterials தான் இருக்க போகுது. உங்க like liquid waste or domestic waste or any industrial waste எடுத்தீங்க அப்படினா அதுல இருக்க போகுதுல வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா suspended matters like non-suspended matters and then வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா வந்து fine particle dissolved solids like and then வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா other like you know inert materials எல்லாம் நிறைய இருக்கு. எல்லாம் ஒரே சைஸ் இருக்கா? It has various sizes. Okay. So the various sizes இருக்கும்போது வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா அந்த subtraction வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா various methods நம்ம யூஸ் பண்ணுவோம். So various methods யூஸ் பண்ணி நம்ம subtract பண்ணிட்டு அதை again separate பண்ணிட்டு அதை further எடுத்து போய் நம்ம conversion of bioenergy நம்ம யூஸ் பண்ணுவோம். So let's see here is the groundwater, industrial water and the sewage waste. So all they collectively taken into the one particular zone. So that's nothing but waste water அப்படின்ற ஒரு zone எடுத்துக்கிறாங்க. அந்த zone ல வந்து என்ன பண்றாங்க different ஆ பிரிச்சுக்கிறாங்க. And further they will take it that nanomaterials வந்து என்ன பண்றாங்க from the natural sources வந்து இருக்காங்க like carbon nanomaterials கூட எடுத்துக்கிறாங்க. இல்ல any other nanomaterials which are you know like very frequently used for the waste into the biowaste which are going right. So then the surface modification hydrogels and the composites we are taken for the nanomaterials and this is actually taken into the membrane separation process and absorbed and finally we are getting the pure water. Okay. So one side pure water, another side now what we are again அது வந்து sludge எடுத்து போய் conversion of the liquids into the biofuel or biodiesel convert பண்ணிடலாம். சரியா? That's another process. அங்கேயே வந்து என்ன பண்றோம் again nanomaterials நம்ம யூஸ் பண்றோம். சரியா? So that's the thing that used in the waste management. Again வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா nanomaterials used in the cellulose production. So again so there are several like you know like materials like you know wheat straw, rice husk, wheat bran and rice straw, sugar cane bags. So these are the like you know again வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா highly rich in cellulose materials. So these cellulose materials we need to convert the cellulose into cellulose. Sorry, cellulose into cellulose. So அப்போ அந்த கன்வெர்ட் பண்ணும்போது நம்ம என்ன பண்றோம் அந்த cellulose வந்ததுக்கு அப்புறம் ஃபர்தரா நம்ம என்சைமேட்டிக்கா சாச்சுரேஷன் பண்ணும்போது we will get the biofuels. Okay. So I like to tell you. So some of the species which are like you know used to convert this into the cellulose. In terms of Clostridium, Isophorus, Erisla. So these are the like microorganisms capable, very capable for convert of this like you know because the liquid into the cellulose. So after that, mixed because cellulose substrate number like mixed fungal biofuel. Then when the enhanced the cellulose production again the further it has used to for the biofuel production. So that the nanomaterials are used again. So நீங்க bagasse இருந்தா அந்த bagasse உள்ள இருக்கு போட்டேனா வந்து இது பண்ணலாம். இங்க ஒண்ணு இல்ல. உங்க வெளிய வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா கரும்பு நல்லா மேல இருக்க அந்த அவுட்டர் ஸ்கின்னோட நீங்க சேர்த்து சாப்பிட முடியுமா? முடியாது. Because it has the very hard ingredient. So we cannot guarantee it. But India was dominant because the enzyme is present in the saliva is different from the human. Okay, right. That's not the matter. So, அப்போ என்ன அது சாப்பிட்டு சேர்த்துது நம்ம சாப்பிட்டு சேர்த்துது இதே நம்ம போய் புல்லு சாப்பிட முடியுமா? சாப்பிடலாம். அது ஜூஸ் குடிக்கணும் இல்லையா? அது குடிக்கலாம். அப்போ குடிக்கணும். ஏன்? அப்போ டேரக்டா இது பண்ணலாம். கிரைண்ட் பண்ணி ஃபைன் பண்ணி பவுடர் ஆக்கி அந்த பவுடர் என்ன பண்ணுறோம் ஹாட் வாட்டர் போட்டு அதுக்கப்புறம் சின்ன அமௌண்ட் ஆஃப் போயிடும். அப்போ முடிக்கும் போது என்ன டைஜஸ்ட். அப்போ what we did is the material is matter for the digestion. So அப்போ material is matter போது வந்து we need to go for the size direction. So that to get the nanomaterial size, these nanomaterials used for the conversion to easier. Okay. Again, nanomaterials used in the bioenergy production. Okay. So nanomaterials used in the bioenergy production. So again, வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா very similar to the previous case. And cellulose paragraph ingiyum. So again, indana indha வந்து என்ன பண்ணா hydrogen production எப்படி வருது அப்படினா வந்து so only the fermentation வெளிய வரக்கூடிய gas நம்ம என்ன பண்றோம் அப்படினா வந்து hydrogen gas நமக்கு வந்து அந்த gas நம்ம fuel ஆ யூஸ் பண்ணா வந்து ஸ்டோரேஜ் பண்ணி ஆட்டோமேட்டிக் தான் நம்ம யூஸ் பண்ணிக்கலாம். ரைட். So இது வரைக்கும் அப்போ வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா சேம் தான். Right, first என்ன பண்றாங்க லியோசிலஸ் பயோமாஸ் எடுத்துக்கறாங்க அத ப்ரீ ட்ரீட்மென்ட் பண்றோம் and thereafter வந்து என்ன பண்றோம் அத வந்து லிக்விட் ஃப்ரீ செல்லுலோஸை கொண்டு வரோம் அதுக்கு அப்புறம் நம்ம என்ன பண்றோம் செல்லுலஸ் ப்ரொடக்ஷன் வந்து அந்த செல்லுலஸ் ப்ரொடக்ஷன் வந்து கன்வர்ஷன் என்சைமேட்டிக் சாக்ரிஃபிகேஷன் பண்ணி அதுல இருந்து வெளியே வரக்கூடிய இது வந்து பார்த்தா பயோஹைட்ரேஷன் okay this is one route and there are several methods are available for the conversion of the lignocellulose into the biohydrogen methods are also available இது ஒன்று தான் அப்படின்றதுனா நான் சின்ன ஒரு எக்ஸாம்பிள் நான் எடுத்துக்கிறேன் so இந்த இடத்துல நம்ம வந்து அத particle reductions வந்து place the wide open for conversion of this like lignocellulose into the biomass into the biohydrogen production okay and if you have any queries the like the first topic you can feel free to ask I can clarify your doubts otherwise I will move to the second topic listen so the materials of nanoparticles how we can choose so in that cases is completely by literature if we are to go through properly the literature which gives that enormous idea about your practice okay so here we are saying that the nanomaterials is nothing but the catalyst okay so these catalysts have their own properties okay so first of all we need to see the morphology and second we need to see that the absorbability of the like like you can say it is the index absorbability index so the index if it is a very good in nature then we can choose and then again the like the non-corrosive or corrosive or non-soluble and solubility these are the things that again we can see all the properties of the nanomaterial so after that only these can be you can suggest it for the conversion of the material okay so this is completely depending upon that literature review only so based upon the review only we come to know that any other questions so the conversion of nanomaterials is a very beautiful area okay that itself one of the research paper or one of the article you can publish okay again the conversion of the biomass into the biofuel with help of nanomaterial is another part okay so we can have the two kinds of the publications whether if you are going to carry out this because if you go for like control the preparation of nanomaterial it is not so easy to get the nanomaterials immediately until unless if you have the strong methods and then the steps that are involved in the conversion of the nanomaterials. If you have very good knowledge and very good method and all the steps that you are like noted down based on the literature review, only you can able to get the nanomaterials. Otherwise, it's quite impossible to get immediately for the nanomaterials. Again, the nanomaterial once you produce or prepare, furthermore you need to test that ability or the properties. The functionality of your nanomaterials is very very important for the conversion of your hemicellulose into the biofuels. Okay, it is not so easy again. So if the all functionality will be meet, what are the requirements to meet, then only you can refer for the conversion. Otherwise, it is very difficult. Okay. So again, the technology which are used is the place the latter, and the solution which you are prepared is the latter. Again, you need to the properties is not of the nanomaterials. Okay.
How far is this hydrogen generation possible? In theory, we learn by asking our students and then in practice, how much hydrogen
Yeah. Listen. So the production of hydrogen in the practical sessions, like the research is still going on. Like so, when I was did microbial fuel cell, the microbial fuel cell also is capable for conversion of the bioenergy production. So it's like again the pollutant which are taken in the chamber, cathodic chamber and anodic chamber. The two chambers are there in the case of the microbial fuel cell. So what actually is taking place in the cathodic chamber that whatever the waste material that you have filled out. And what actually is taking place is that you are also inaugurated that you are the microbial species in the cathodic chamber. say what has happened, the microorganism is responsible for conversion of this like waste water into the like your product. So what will happen? Simple, very simple is enzymatic action.
RTT, a wonderful and profound psychologist. She completed her undergraduation in psychology from Bhaktavatsala Memorial College for Women, Chennai, and her post-graduation on clinical psychology in Savita College of Allied Health Sciences. She at present is working in our institution as student counselor, performing an excellent job. She is a former mental health practitioner with appropriate training in counseling and therapy, and she is tirelessly advocating mental health services to every corner of the society. She has adequate knowledge in psychopathology, care, history-taking, developing diagnosis, etc. I welcome you, ma'am, to guide us on occupational stress management.
A lot of people, and I'm very young to you, so I've experienced faculties. Quality is that quality. So yeah, what is stress? Basically, we have been come across this terminology. Liquid, what is stress? We have it. I want this to be very interactive session, or it's like this silence or what? What is stress? What is stress? Overdone. Okay. You feel like you're overdone. Overdone. You feel like, or there are pending things to be done. You cannot handle.
No time for handling all work or all kind of institutions.
So overwhelming, I would say. Nice. Anything else? Overwhelming will be, isn't that related to choice? Okay. That is finances. What is it?
Unknowingly we are thinking as others. Unknowingly we thinking.
Think about others. Okay. Overthinking? Okay. Anything else?
Work pressure.
Work pressure.
Mental.
What do we talk here? 5 years?
I will go straight.
Basically, stress is a human reaction. It is a very basic human reaction that is caused by mental or physical stimuli. So, you must have known about this fight or flight responses. Whenever something happens, a stimulus hits us, we either fight it or we fly from it, or we either freeze, completely freeze. Appo uruvagadala stress. Something that gives us uncomfortableness. ஒரு விஷயத்தை பண்ண முடியாம தப்பிச்சு நிக்கிறது stress. Stress is good or not? Yes. Stress is good. Wow. It is not good. It's not good. It's not good. Okay. It's good. It helps us be more creative. It helps us become more innovative. It helps us solve solutions. Stress is good. Why is that good? Hold on a second. Why it's not good? It's not good.
We can't take the clear decision when we are
Stress. Stress is good or bad?
it's get a lot of creativity, innovative ideas.
It stops us from thinking in a particular path. So it prevents us from doing good things sometimes.
That's a hero irrelevant word. Anyone can use stress. Just knowing the actual meaning of it. So when you feel stressed because of exam that is coming next week, that is good stress. You should appreciate what is it. And if it's a bad stress, you should not appreciate it. You should like work on it. முதல்ல பிரச்சனை தெரிஞ்சா நமக்குலாம் work on it. That is the thing. That's why I appreciate it. Causes. Don't say. Tell me few causes. How stress can happen? Finances. Okay. Relationship. People. And tough of the environment. And noting it. What else then? Fun in there. What else then? Why stress is being caused? You should give me photos on that. Yeah. Why stress? Why, how stress is being caused? Things are beyond. Only first benches or last benches? Please do answer. Chuma sabda, don't want to like experiences. Why stress? Both the family and work. The same time.
They respected both answers from you.
You should not have
They respected both answers from you.
Yeah, very right. Okay, when up so they are doing something and people do it. But this is you workload. You
Environmental stress.
environmental stress. You overthinking. Okay. You no environment. You study well. So basically, it's academic responsibilities in faculty context. Imagine like you have classes, you have uncertainty life, precisely say. You will have conference within next week, unannounced. You will have exams, unannounced. You will have corrections, unannounced. Everything is completely uncertain in your life. That creates a lot of stress. Change the family relation, as you are married, have kids, then responsibilities going around. Financial responsibilities, as I said, sometimes starting coming for the first day of the month, sometimes 9th day of the month. You won't have the certainty in that. That creates a problem. Or you will have sudden big expenses, which goes beyond your level. That creates stress. Being in your environment, when you transfer yourself from one college to another college, when you go to a new classroom, new section, or you meet new students, first years, newcomers, that creates stress. Exposure to new people, ideas and temptations. When you have new projects with your students, you won't have an idea. That creates stress. And preparing for life. Basically, putting pedal for the future. That creates stress. You will sit or like lie down in a bed at 2 p.m. or 2 a.m. and think about your life. What's going to happen at this moment? That creates the causes. These are all very handful of causes. Symptoms. Basically, if stress happens, what will your physiological reaction? You will have headache. Imagine you have many projects for the whole day. How would it be? Share experience. You will have like migraine, headache. Basically, you will have headache here and the back. That's where it attacks. Fatigue, you will feel tired. Gastrointestinal problem. I'll explain why. Hypertension, heart problems. This is all for less people. Inability to focus, sleep disturbances, sweating, anxiety, sexual problems. It's completely untalkable kind of thing. Whenever you have high amount of stress, you won't secrete estrogen, progesterone, there is no oxytocin at all, or no level of oxytocin. That creates sexual problems. You look like you're judging me. Okay, and behavioral changes. This is part of the physiological that happens in the body. This is behavioral. completely out of your normalcy. You'll smoke. If you want to smoke 1 cigarette per day, you'll smoke 16 cigarettes, 10 cigarettes. You're going to drink 1 pack every week. You're going to drink 1 bottle every day. Extremely unsettling. And compulsive shopping. Like you might go window shopping, stall it around and buy things. And you feel good when it comes home. You don't feel good. When you have to pay, you don't feel good. Yeah. This is a kind of cycle. I'm just showing how stressors work. Stressor is a word where stimuli that causes stresses. Whatever that causes stress is called as stressors. So, there is a stress that triggers you. Trigger on apparama, you will have internal processing things. You know, amygdala, it's in the brain. Amygdala, I hope you all know. It's in the brain. The senses will send signal to the amygdala. Amygdala will send signal to hypothalamus, just like you know, amygdala. That sends to adrenal cortex. It's in the kidney, not adrenal cortex. That secretes adrenocorticotropic hormone called cortisol. The high production of cortisol will cause a lot of bad things to occur. Basically, cortisol is produced. There is 2 types of nervous system in our brain: sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. Sympathetic is that induces this life homeostasis, where you have this fight or flight responses. You go do something, very basically, imagine a dog. You're throwing a stone at a dog and it's running away. There, the sympathetic nervous system works. Parasympathetic is like completely reverse. You'll feel calm, you'll feel like sleeping. You get it? Yeah. So, cortisol actually induces
How to work
also.
on this?
Huh?
How to work on this?
You have to work on this. You don't have to work on this. Yeah. This cortisol actually stimulates sympathetic nervous system, which does a lot of cardio things. But when cortisol goes like ரொம்ப அதிகமா போயிடுச்சு, ஸ்ட்ரெஸ் இருந்துட்டே இருக்கு, cortisol அதிகமா இருக்கு, பிரச்சனை அதிகமா இருக்குன்னா, you won't hit parasympathetic. Your body won't come. The homeostasis won't maintain. And that causes a lot of physiological issues. Other cope பண்ணுறதுக்கு, you drink, you smoke, you go travel, people will say go travel, you'll be fine. It won't be fine. And you take a lot of short-term things instead of working on long-term. ஒரு பிரச்சனை வருதுன்னா அதை short-term focus பண்ணாம long-term focus பண்ணணும். But when you are having stress, you focus on short-term things. You will like, what do you do when you have stress basically? I just want you to just stop it. What do you do? Listen to music. What is it? Travel, shower. What is it?
Watching some
Driving.
nice movies or especially like
Basically, experts are saying that sitting at one place and listening the things is not also they ask to do physical activity.
Physical activity.
dancing.
Dancing.
That works me.
I hope you get the context of what I'm doing right now. It is about stress management. Yes. Oh, this is sorry. Yeah. So basically, you do a lot of short-term things, like you go travel, you listen to music. அந்த நேரத்துக்கு ஸ்ட்ரெஸ் குறைக்கிறதுக்கு நீங்க என்ன பண்றீங்கன்னா அப்பப்போ பண்ணுறீங்க. Instead of focusing on the core issue. So, until அடுத்த நாள் you have the same stress, you will like trying again. Strategies, but basically, I tell one thing. You can't focus on short term to solve your long term issue. So yeah. Okay. So as said, I want to add one point about this brain physiology. The cortisol thing what I said. There is this place called hippocampus, responsible for memory. You store your memory, you retrieve it, you recall it, memory. This cortisol will go affect your hippocampus. You know this axonal stimulation, axon fire, neural electronics pass right? stressful, like, it has power to do it. Okay. Yeah. First step, which is completely easy, we have to set priorities and make to-do list. We all make to-do list. We have this sticky notes, to-do list model, do we do it in the first place? Yes. You religiously follow it. Do we do it? We don't. Yeah. Why we don't do it?
Because all the activities which are prioritized, I myself to recollect my memory is less.
Because you have memory. But why not executing it? Why everything in your checklist is
Executing. The day I complete it.
you complete it?
Yeah.
So sometimes it happens that we prioritize something. Okay, after this we have to do this kind of work. After this we have to do this. But in a practical environment, it becomes impossible to carry out that in a proper sequence. Maybe like we will be able to sacrifice, okay fine, this is more important. Someone is asking us to do this work right now. So we'll postpone the second work to the last session.
However, it is you have completed the day activity.
Completed, but prioritizing and
It's all environmental need we are prioritizing those.
that again causes stress because we'll be thinking of doing something at that moment.
Yes, but basically we are giving the importance to complete that the short-term things, which is based on the urgent, very urgent. In that aspect, we are completing the task. However, we are completing the day activity. We are not falling the stress, which is like what like balance today that we are completing.
There is many individual differences in doing such things. So do you do your to-do list? Do you checklist? Do you do it?
We make to-do list. Probably we may not be able to complete it, but that helps us follow up and finish.
That is a very basic kind of activities. We make to-do list. We make this. We make schedules. We do a lot of things. But the question is, are we completing it? Why? Because we have to make realistic goals. Yeah, you can just spontaneous to-do list. You have one pack. Okay.
Administrative officer, then also
Yeah. So
this is according to the nature of job description.
there is a research study as conducted with 33 associate professors, 33 assistant professors, and 33 lecturers. And they have found associates are more prone to get stress in higher level universities. Whereas in lower level universities or average universities, assistant professors are the one who experience a lot of stress. So it's based on your work ethic. Finally, to-do list, let's say, make very, very realistic to-do list. Very realistic. Don't write every goal you want to do. You should know what's your own capacity to do. So make one realistic to-do list. No, the thing is, I should at least do these things and followed by others. So in the much and if my stress goes high, I should take a break. Didn't know that means we have a lot of things started. Deadlines. I'm coming to it. Fine. Practice facing stressful moments. I thought this would suit you, friends. Tell me, okay? Practicing is like, okay, something is going to happen. For example, I have a session today. So I practiced it yesterday night. I said, this is something today, tomorrow. We should talk about it. I'm working on it. So, 10 minutes of gap. This is I'm doing what I'm going to do. That is practicing. Being mindful about what I'm doing. Try to set realistic goals. Here comes the deadlines. So yeah. Tell me how many works you would do in a day. Just count them. Averagely, how many work you would do?
5 to 7.
5 to 7 work.
Around 8 to 10.
8 to 10.
file is mandatory. So you have to put urgent, very, very urgent to be done. Instead of putting everything and nothing everything, very, very urgent, urgent, less urgent, not urgent at all. That is how a schedule should be. Very urgent should be done today itself or by afternoon itself. Konjam urgent should be done today and tomorrow. Konjam urgent or like kami urgent within 1 week. Less urgent within like 2 weeks or 1 week. That's how you should do your schedule. We teachers have this trait called perfectionism. Everything we do should be perfect. And we expect the same from students. I hope. So yeah, you should not include your perfectionism here. Everything you do should be categorized according to your own realistic standards, not your ideal standards. If I put 5 people, I'm going to train, burn out, and put 3 next time. That's how it works. So I should know my own limitations. That's how you reduce stress. Avoid scheduling too many appointments, meetings, and classes back to back. So imagine you have 8 periods and you have classes for 6 periods straight. How are we going to handle it?
That's based on time
It's based on
and because they have subjects, right?
that. So yeah,
We need to plan on the previous day because we know the schedule earlier. So that helps reduce the stress. When you prepare, then
you have to prepare, but sometimes it doesn't come enough late to prepare. You have your kids' homework, you have other things to do. So you either take 10 minutes break in every period before you get it. Trying to trick your brain that I'm okay. That 10 minutes break will help you to think I am not in danger, I am safe, I'm going to work. Because our brain it's either I'm going to die or I'm going to live. It doesn't think like you're 100% number. It's die or live. That's how our brain works, our primitive brain works. So yeah, when you put things, you should say to yourself, it's going to be hard, I'm going to handle it. So you should give 10 minutes of break between every classes you start. Or at least 5 minutes of break. That will at least work out. I'll help you how to handle the 10 minutes break. I'll teach you. Last is like this.
keep this informed to the authorities that there can be attendance.
No!
Actually, that is all up to the faculty plan. Okay, if the faculty is decided to handle the class with more example and some of the solutions, some of the question and answer, some of debate, having the fun, the classrooms, that are up to the plan of the faculty.
Yeah, so when you go and step in the classroom, 5 minutes of go through the last 8 things instead of doing the last 5 things. That might help you. You say to me for now. You have to learn to say no, which is very hard, but you have to say no.
I don't know that. I need to learn this.
Yes. In any of our situation, to be life, academic, or anything, you should learn to say no. At the episode, we can now when we know your limitations. When we doesn't know our limitations, we over-important us. We'll step into a lot of it. You should know your limitation and you should learn to say no. You're very polite.
Is putting a limitation stopping you from expanding your wings?
No.
Knowing new things, new responsibilities.
No. It's like I'm giving myself some break. Just testify. I shouldn't overwork. I should work. If I work with a good mindset, I will achieve my goal. If I overwork with stress, I will take it. Yes. So, it's not going to put you back. You're not stepping up. You should step in with a healthy mindset. Or at least I can cope this mindset. have studied for like 10 hours and have exam tomorrow. I didn't sleep at all. I completely studied. It's 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, it's in the classroom, exam hall. I feel what? I feel sleepy. Because I didn't sleep. நான் 10 மணி நேரம் படிச்சிட்டு கிடையாது. நான் தூங்கல அந்த இடத்துல. அதை உடம்பு கிடைக்கிறேன்னா தூங்கல. Rest எடுக்கல. So going to exam hall, going to sleep anyways. So if I studied for 5 minutes, like 5 hours, and slept for 5 hours, and got up, and like revised it, and I can at least make that 5 hours of hard work there, instead of sleeping completely. And you should know what is your true responsibilities, which I found it personally in this workplace, that you should know what is your perfect job description. Like why? You should be very certain of what is your job description.
Who defines it? Who defines it?
I know,
Nobody has to say it.
same here. But yeah, that is this certain job description, and press 2 or press 3 extra. Don't have it.
See, this must be the responsibility. So based upon the commitment, they have to first of all know the things. They don't know.
What they are supposed to do.
Yeah. See, before commit the work, first of all, they must aware of it. What their responsibility for it. If the commitment is based upon the responsibility that businesses.
Same thing goes. When you doesn't know what kind of work you have, or what you're supposed to do, what you're not supposed to do, you will get involved in everything. That causes a lot of stress.
That's why people who are the new joiners fail to have the
I'll share one
Sustain.
thing, very personal thing about this institution. Yes. So,
no.
yeah, like it's completely like everyone knows what this is. We had academic calls. Appa had a lot of patients who faculty saying that they have complaints regarding that they have to call every time, and then you can have academic session, like admission sessions. Yes. This you have to know where you have to put boundaries. If they give you 15 numbers to call, you have to call me 10 instead of 15. You should call. Calling is your responsibility. They have given you a
Regular
task.
follow is responsible. There is no mandatory things that regular follow is very important. That's the thing. These are like good. It is not only for us. It is everywhere across the world.
This is completely like very general.
That's why I am saying when we go for the commitment, you need to decide it. See, yesterday I'll tell you one incident. Yesterday around 5:30 or 6 p.m. I got a call from the resource person that I am not feeling well. I can't able to come. I am rushing that to call my friends. Around 6 or 7 members, I called them. Hey, Bhaiya, this is the thing is happened. Please help me send here one resource person. This almost matter of like 1.5 hours, 2 hours is gone. Catching them and finding them and discussing blah blah also. Right. So after that I realized why should I call everyone instead of I am going to take a session. And then I decided by 7 p.m. and matter of 2 hours I finished the entire sessions. Without any answer, without any problem, without any further thinking on, overthinking on the problem. I know the solution. I am the only solution that I can handle the things. Finished. Not really. Happy I will take the class.
I missed it. But truth is, not everyone have this spontaneous thinking.
Yeah, these are by experience based. Okay, so when you go for the commitment, you know the solution. Or if you don't know the solution, you need to speak to elder people to get the solution. See, there is no payment for that.
Yeah, they might come up.
But they we go to CRT, they will teach like anything. Then obviously come. Right. So, first of all, we need to understand. Our brain is works only 45 minutes. Not more than
20. 20 is
at maximum extent, it's a 40 or 45. It won't work after 45. Anyway, it won't give you better solution also. Okay, in that aspect, after the 40 minutes, you take a break and go.
If in case you are not doing as a reproductive properly, that's where I come. Yes, if you couldn't cope it spontaneously, you have to take a break. That's one thing we said. You have to take a break. If you are stressed, 2 plus 1 is 4. That's how it's going to be. So, you have to at least come up with 50% of solutions instead of 100. 50 would be fine.
Obviously. See,
Handling it will help solve the stress. That's as simple as it.
But we have to confront that I'm having stress right now, I should sit.
I'll tell you this. I said that the problem is for resource person. If I keep on thinking that who will accept my invitation, if keep on thinking the entire night, the next day won't be work on anything. Anyway, the job is to do by yourself. Because you are committed. Okay, if you are committed, obviously you need to. That's your responsibility.
Taking responsibility will solve a lot of stress issues.
The go out of the box.
But thinking that it's why should I do? It's not my job. Will put you into more stress rather than come on, let me try to will solve the problem.
Yeah, it goes both ways. I should step into it, explore it, and do it. At the same time, it's eating a lot of my physical thing, it's eating a lot of my energy, so I'm like stepping back. You should know when to put the boundaries. That's why I said limitations. I have to go explore things. I have to take responsibilities. At the same time, I should not over-involve. I should not do this doormat thing.
That's why I'm saying it is a planning is required.
Definitely.
If planning is not required, as you said that you need to list out the 10. But the effective people can do only 10. Work one. Okay, 10 different work. So you need to prioritize according to your urgent, very urgent. According to that you have to prioritize and then you work on it. Then it is that is solved. Here the problem is they don't know that their job description. That is the problem.
But still, to the point. Everything college says can be put in categorized as mandatory. You should do, you have to do. But take responsibility for it. But at what level? How am I going to do it alone? It's either alone or with my colleague or with my officials. How it's going to be?
Are we student?
All with students. True that. So we had cultures. I am one of the coordinator and she is another coordinator. We had like bunch of 30 plus students and they did most of the
This is
things.
minimum. Actually, earlier days is 60 like that.
Student coordinator.
No. Program.
So yeah, you have to know whom should I call for help. Sometimes I think I have a lot of capacity to do, so I sit and do a lot of work. It doesn't know that way. You have to go sit for help. You have to go think about limitations. Instead of yes. Avoid activities that promise release from stress while actually having it. For example, smoking. Smoking, drinking alcohol, or doing other sort of shopping things, you might think that reduces your stress. But whereas on the opposite side, it actually increases it. life brings to us. Maintain healthy lifestyle. This is something you should put in like middle of your priorities. Maintaining, when you're completely overpacked, you won't do exercises, you won't eat properly, you won't maintain good sleep pattern.
You have time for that.
You won't have time at all. So this is something you should like at least prioritize in the middle part. Okay, I'm skipping meals, I didn't eat my breakfast, I have projects, I have attendance to take. But in between, I'll have my breakfast. Like putting yourself time to do tasks that helps you develop your healthy lifestyle. At least one task. Always keep your goals very, very realistic. You will completely stop everything and go back to your whatever. So, okay, if you are skipping breakfast, you can have breakfast. Let 10 minutes get ready because of it. That's fine. And so you should prioritize healthy lifestyle. They will say yoga and do all the things. When you don't even have time to eat, how you will do yoga? Yoga is something that you have to put the mat, lie down, pick up the positions and do it. But when you prioritize in a very simple way, eat breakfast after, eat pathamishu veliya pora, iniki park pora, and that will lead you to do yoga. You put your mind and do yoga. So yeah, small baby steps that changes your lifestyle. Actually, that's it. I have one quick activity with you all. So you don't have to get up on it. Sorry. So I want every one of you to drop whatever you have in your hand and put aside. Okay. Put your phone inside. I don't want any pen to read. And let it loose. So put everything you have aside. Don't keep anything in your lap. Keep yourself very free. Put your phone inside. Basic water and breathe in stress management. We'll teach you to breathe out, very normal technique. We'll do something exercise. This is called progressive relaxation, which we do in hospitals. So when you feel overwhelmed, you feel like your legs are shaking, you stand at all. Or I didn't eat for next 3 meals. I'm going to take faint. Of course you should do this. When things are completely out of hand, listen to me very, very carefully. It's an order. Whatever you're going to do right now, it's an order. You should follow the order. Religious. Yeah. Lay back. Relax yourself well. You can relax your fingers and chair. Okay. Focus on whatever I am saying. You want the instruction in other language. Close your eyes. Yes, you do.
Because
Yeah, whatever.
food is not that great. That's what it's.
Just
Everyone there.
Don't listen to a spoon call, okay? Lay back. Nalla sanchu koppinali. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Just do whatever I say. Yeah. Next 10 minutes, you're going to listen to my voice and whatever I command. Slowly inhale and exhale out. Again inhale and exhale out. Okay. Deep inhale and exhale out. Listen to the sounds that is around you. My voice, fan, or anything is like in here. Listen to the voices, the sounds. how the instruction goes. I will say you to inhale, and at the same time, you're going to contract your muscle wherever I point out. If I say contract your foot muscles or give pressure in it, you're going to inhale and give pressure. And later, I'll say exhale and followed by release the pressure. So you're going to inhale when contracting those muscles or wherever I'm pointing at. And after a couple of seconds, you're going to exhale and release the pressure. Fine. This is how the order goes. Focus on your foot, your inner foot, your toe fingers, everything. Inhale and give a slight pressure over there. Exhale and release the pressure. Again, inhale with contracting those foot muscles. Exhale and releasing the pressure. Now, move forward to your legs. Inhale and give pressure to your legs. You should feel the pressure over there. And exhale. Release it. Again, inhale. We'll give the pressure. And exhale. Release the pressure. Now, we move to the knees. Inhale and give pressure to your knees. Feel your knees. And exhale and releasing it. Again, inhale and give pressure to your knees. And exhale. Now, you're going to focus on your thighs. Inhale and give pressure to your thighs. Contract those muscles. And exhale and release the pressure. Inhale, give pressure to your thighs. Exhale. Now, you're moving forward to your abdomen. Inhale, give pressure to your abdomen. Exhale, release the pressure. Again, inhale, feel your abdomen, give pressure. Exhale. Now, it's your stomach. Inhale and give pressure to your stomach. Feel your stomach going in, getting tucked in. Exhale, release it. Inhale, give pressure to your tummy. Exhale. Now, move forward to your chest positions. Inhale, contract your chest position. And exhale. Inhale, contract chest part. Exhale. Now, your neck. Inhale, feel the pressure in your neck. Exhale. Inhale deeply and feel the pressure in your neck. Exhale. And slowly release the pressure. Now, move to your shoulders. Inhale and contract your shoulders. Put pressure on it. And exhale. Release the pressure. Inhale contract your fingers, palm, and exhale. Now, we move to your head. Look at those thoughts standing in your head. Don't think about it, but look at them. Look at what you're thinking. There will be thousands of thoughts that are standing around your mind. Look at them, just look at them. We'll be thinking around every day, we are overthinking, do a lot of stuffs. We'll be having a lot of to-do lists in our mind. Just see them, just look at them. We ourselves know we have a lot to do. We need a break. Now focus on your breathing. When you breathe, when you inhaling, when you're exhaling, just focus on it. Just see how you breathe. We completely forget that we are breathing. Focus on it. Now focus on the fan sound. The way I talk, my accent, how I drag it. Focus on every minute sound that is around you. Every minute sound. Slowly inhale. Exhale. Inhale deeply. Exhale. Inhale deeply again. And exhale. Open your eyes. Again, open your eyes. Open your eyes. I see a lot of red patches. You must have either slept or stressed. Fine. How is it? How are you feeling? How are you feeling? Must have felt calm, some peace that we are missing out in our life. So whenever you feel stressed, you should do this. Go to washroom, to the toilet chair. Just for 5 minutes. Focus on your every muscles. Relax, contract them and relax them. And feel your breath. Whenever you are stressed, feel your breath. You don't have to inhale and exhale. Just feel your breath. Something that is very monotonous that can give you a sense of peacefulness. So feel it. You would add any points from your experience and a very young lad. So, any points you needed from your experience?
You are already effective.
Actually, I was thinking about this yet. We are telling to think about each and every part. It's practically true. If we see in Hindu mythology or any religion for that matter, just to quote, we have this conversation where we will be reciting every part of our body when we are reciting that. It's not something to do with religion or something. It's like, when you think of each and every part of your body, it activates that part and gives you, that energy. So, this is practically what is there, and what is what we all know, but we forget to practice that.
When we are stressed, we will have this back pain, shoulder pain, and hip pain sometimes, sitting for a long time. When we do this thing, it will give some break to it. Everyone over movement. Sit back, lay down, push back, do something. Any points from experience you want to share with others that how you manage your stress? How you manage healthily?
I go and sleep.
You go sleep. Sleep is actually one good temporary solution.
Good temporary solution. But we can avoid so many problems.
You can avoid this. How we have to face it?
Definitely. This, that is good for actually health also.
very high stressed and you do yoga or meditation,
Not
you
all.
are actually inducing it more. You're hitting your subconsciousness where this suppressed stress gets a lot. Oh, நல்ல வெயில் காணிச்சிருக்கு டக்குன்னு மழை பெஞ்சோடுங்க ஒரு சூடு கிளம்புங்க அதுதான் that's how the brain works. பயங்கரமான ஸ்ட்ரெஸ் இருக்கப்போ you try to calm it down, it creates a lot. Acknowledge and have stress. Sit and think about it. And later do whatever you want. That's how it works. Sleep and very dealing with the stress. You will give a lot of self-awareness. Oh, I can only handle 3 patients. That's it. You don't want. You will know about it. Take short naps. Meet the couple. Don't take 5 or 6 hours of sleep. Take short nap. 30 minutes. 20 minutes. That would be enough to complete a whole cycle. 90 minutes is the whole cycle. Your sleep cycle. So, that's all. Thank you.
We have target for 23-24 up to 10% that we have to handle with the conventional flow. Right? So this is the emission pattern which you have might have seen already. So with respect to the oil production and the how our carbon dioxide emission, it is correlating equally. So that means we have to work on the especially the transportation sector. Okay? So how you can see with respect to the global carbon dioxide emissions with respect to the different form of fuels, coal is one of the major sources. It is one. So sometimes if we capture the carbon that is generated from coal, it may reduce another up to 90, like the fossil average. Fossil fuel average is 90 kilograms CO2 per megajoule of energy that is produced. If you take natural gas, it is 62, biodiesel is 56, ethanol is 36. So ethanol is one of the lowest, and if you take biogas, it is even cheaper. And there are some technologies with the carbon capture. So wherever in the bioenergy technologies, if we go and if we capture carbon, that is called as a negative emission technologies. There are only 6 technologies are there in the world. So what is something special about this particular graph? Any observations here? It looks simple, but it tells a lot of story actually. There are certain fuels which are no longer considered biofuel in this graph. One is biodiesel actually. Any reason why? Or no, not necessarily from the feedstock. According to European nation, what they have told is that amount of carbon dioxide emitting, the level at which it can reduce, is no longer considered to be a factor which can save it. The reduction of emission, for example, if you take this 90 carbon fossil fuel, the carbon dioxide with capture can reduce more than what biodiesel can reduce. So hence it is no longer considered an advanced biofuel. The amount of reduction in global GHG gases should be more than 70%. In India we do not have a target, but globally the target should be like from fossil fuel standards of 1990s, it should be around 80% reduction should be there. If you keep that cut will not possible for the biodiesel. So hence biodiesel in India, many people are back 10 years down the line, I think many people are working on that robot. But that many projects have been stalled. One of the reasons behind that is it cannot reduce the emission beyond the point. So likewise, if you look at the global energy consumption year-wise, so you can see most of them is coming from the solid biofuels within the waste sector. So there are about 100 billion tons of waste are there. And if you look at the policy, right, how ethanol has traveled over the course of years, you can see from 1946, the first internal combustion engine was there. And even before IC engines were there, there were ethanol-based engines were developed before in the 1900s, early 1900s. Henry Ford built the first automobile running on 1896, right? And then in 1908 we had the Ford Model T. But over the course of time, as you see, it depends on the feedstock the country has. For example, in US, corn is predominantly oil, whereas sugarcane is predominantly available. So the choice of feedstock based on the availability, each country has taken its own shape. That's why in Brazil, ethanol was promoted from sugarcane, whereas in US, corn-based ethanol was quite popular. The one problem with the sugarcane is it is a water-consuming crop, high water-consuming crop. So sometimes it may reduce our overall emission, but it may lead to water stress on the environment. So now it becomes like in the 2015, DuPont has opened the largest cellulosic ethanol facility, the second generation. I think you all know about the different generations of ethanol. So first is the sugar feedstock, second one is lignocellulose, third one is algae. So with that, this is a map of global picture where ethanol is produced. So if you look at that map, mostly the starting highest volume is produced by US, followed by Brazil, and then India and China follows the thing. And if you take Europe for example, they mostly produce wheat-based ethanol because wheat grains are mostly produced over there predominantly. So this is the typical structure of different sources, right? So if you have sugar cane, then directly you can produce it to sucrose, so which can be directly produced to ethanol. Whereas in corn, we have to do the breakdown of the structure with respect to carbohydrates, and then we have to make it to glucose, then you can produce. In glucose process, first we have to divide the structure. So then in the preclinical enzymatic cytolysis, then the glucose is released. Whereas in algae, you have to do. There is one big problem with algae. Can anyone tell me what is that? Algae has a promising feature but also has a problem. The amount of energy you put in to take home is more. Because it is quite liquid in nature, to have the separation, the amount of energy you put, actually the net energy will be less than zero. So that is the point, one of the basic problem from a technological point of view to solve. So the next thing will be the harvesting will be a challenge. Then you have pre-treatment enzymatic technologies. So these are the different generations of feedstock, right? So when you take, for example, the petrochemical refineries, right? So on the left you have the petrochemical refineries where you have crude oil, which can be fractionated into gasoline, petroleum, tar, solid, liquid and gas. Then you have different kinds of things, fuels you can produce, chemicals you can produce, materials, polyethylene, waters, everything we are producing is from the petrochemical refinery system. Right? So if you look at the market share of petrochemical, right? So diesel corresponds to almost 40%, petrol corresponds to around 20%, fuel oil is 12%. And then you have kerosene, naphtha, LPG. So this is the different setup. So for example, in some market conditions, if one particular product is, for example, if government has, let's say, diesel, right? Still they can survive with another 60%. Right? Whereas the same technology we have to apply for biorefineries to be economically viable and sustainable. So that is the product. Likewise, if we can produce multiple product pathways from the biofuel stocks, then it will help us to. So this coordinates actually on the x-axis you have crude oil price in dollar per liter. On the y-axis you have the different products in dollar per liter. So if you see the graph, all the correlates to based on the crude oil. So if crude oil price increases, the different products and the price of the product, price of the different things. For example, ethanol, jet fuel, ethylene. So these three components, it is proportionate to the crude oil price. So that means we are heavily dependent on the OPEC countries, right? So the OPEC countries is the petroleum engineering countries. So what is the problem in this one? It is all good, it looks good, right? Like, so what is the problem? There we are lacking on why we have to change.
Scalability is one problem.
Right.
Most of our structures in the second one is we have not diversified the products and purified all the products from the process.
One thing is we haven't completed the value chain. Whereas if you look at the petrochemical refinery approach, they have started from the crude oil till even any tar is like the one which is of no value actually, but still we could use it for laying roads finally. Whereas in our thing, you can say only we have 20% of the efficiency has been achieved, still 80% have not been
That is
achieved.
a age-old tradition.
Yes. That's what, as I said, we are competing in some technology which has been optimized at the molecular level for generations. Whereas this is some technology which, so the question is, this is the linear way how we solve a problem, right? If you want to go to a lab, we start with a research question, you will have an hypothesis, yes, okay, this is the way I am going to work, then I am going to conduct an experiment, do an analysis, if at all my results are good, then I am going to go for scale up, then finally we will study for industry whether if I can, it is feasible or not. And if all goes through, it will be transformed into an industrial process, right? So, as we were discussing, the crude oil technology has been generated or optimized for several decades. You cannot have the same approach for biofuel processes. We need to have a change with respect to the way in which we are thinking, because this is a linear flow which takes quite a long time to optimize. So every time, for example, as we were discussing, so now if I go until analysis and say, okay, this is not working, I'll go to the next problem, right? So I am not solving any single line, but instead of that I am having a loop-based approach where I am not getting into the end of the problem. It's like you are in the never-ending cycle. So the thought process which we want to propose is the circular flow. So once you have the research problem, go for hypothesis, do a preliminary experimental analysis, but then instead of going for scale up, you need to look at the sustainable optimization metrics where you need to consider feasibility of the technology, economics, environment. Sometimes it's not only these three factors, you also need to look at how government is supporting with respect to policy. We were also producing same sugarcane based ethanol or sugar from it for last 10-20 years. It was not that something it is not good. If you go to any sugar refineries, no, they are producing. But government tells them you should not produce ethanol, you should produce sugar. So unless there is a favorable policy towards to approach, now government tells you stop sugar, you produce more ethanol. Then they are changing. So now there is a favorable policy towards producing more ethanol from sugarcane. Likewise, the market condition has to support. Now, if the crude oil price is increasing a new high, then it is no longer viable. Then I need to look for some other material which is cheaper. Then my technology becomes cheaper than the other one. So this is the way in which everything has to be supported. And if we can optimize this particular process, then my technology scale up and getting into industry is much more higher, right? So that is where the map of technology, economics, environment has to be in one umbrella. So the solution is, what we have done is, I would like to present one fact actually. We all talk about the complications because we are all from academic. Then above that we talk about patterns, right? So according to Forbes study, not more than 4% of the pattern create $1 revenue. Okay, so 96% of the patterns are sleeping without creating any revenue. So that means that whatever we are working, it is incomplete. It is incomplete. As I said, the value chain is not completed. So in that particular context, what I have done is, we have looked at two different graphs. One is a banana grass and the other one is energy chain. So if you look at the banana grass and energy chain on wet and dry basis, this is the way their composition looks like. So for example, cellulose is 10% both, and then you will have lignin as 1% less, and extractives are more in energy chain, right? And moisture is almost typical. So almost they are the same feedstock. So we wanted to study whether if any of these feedstock can be profitable from a biorefinery approach. So sorry for this particular thing. This is a complex map, but I will go through in section wise. So this is the front end operation where the feedstock enters in, right? And then it will be washed and cleaned and etc. Then here we have the pre-treatment step. So we use the dilute acid pre-treatment, and here we have the process pentose fermentation. So what we have done is we have divided the sugars into two parts. One is the bicarbonate sugar and the other one is the 6-carbon sugar. So this particular region talks about the bicarbonate sugar where we will produce acetic acid separately. Then we have the 6-carbon sugar which will go for ethanol production. Apart from that, we have also looked at producing ethyl acetate, dodecane which is an advanced sugar, and ethylene. So then it becomes a concept of biorefinery. We are producing 5 to 6 different products in a single chain. From there, if you look at, then we have the leftover biomass which will be used for producing our co-product utilization, and then you have the ethanol recovery and wastewater treatment. So this is the, I think around more than 100 unit operations are in this picture. It took us to model more than 11 months actually to develop this particular sheet. Right? So these are all the different products which we have looked at in each pathway. So first pathway looks at ethanol, then we have ethanol plus ethyl acetate, then ethyl acetate alone, then in the first pathway we had ethylene, then dodecane, and then finally, okay, why not only produce electricity instead of making it complicated. So if you look at the mass balance, so this is another thing. Most of the studies, they do not report the mass balance. Unless we know how, what is coming in and going out, it becomes a challenge for industry to understand what is happening. So at least we need to have a simplified approach towards mass balance. So if you look at bananas, right? So in the first step we produce about 15,000 tons of ethanol, whereas when I produce ethyl acetate, right? So I have 7,000 tons of ethanol, around 11,000 tons I have lost, but I have produced about 10,000 tons extra of ethyl acetate. In the third case, there is no ethanol, only ethyl acetate is produced, so which is increasing, right? So the same way in the fourth case, if you look at the ethylene, instead of bioethanol and ethyl acetate, I am producing only 9,000 tons of ethylene. In the fifth step, instead of that one, I am going only for dodecane and hexane, right? And last is electricity, which is converted into 18,000 megawatt hour. So which of these pathways looks economical to you now? Can you talk any conclusion about it? Energy, okay. Right? So energy is the worst performer actually.
I know, but the value is more.
No, but in terms of, that is the code. So there is a trade-off between two things. How much you produce and what is the per unit cost of it. So at the per unit cost, energy is the lowest. Also, if I go back to my first slide where I had shown the weightage of cellulose, hemicellulose, the moisture content present in the feedstock is around 70%, which means I have to put more energy to burn out the moisture. That means it is not economical. That is what it is referring in this particular scenario. So this is the worst performer of the scenario. In the base case scenario, where I have produced only ethanol, it is somewhat better. I can get 5% ethanol investment. And in the second case, if I am going to produce only ethyl acetate, it is lower than the base case scenario. In the third case, where I produce both, that has created a new interest, and similarly the production cost has decreased. Right? So this is the profit and this is the production cost inversely proportional.
So somehow, companies like Brazil and US have mastered this and they've already started.
Yes.
Is there anything that we can take it from those companies which we are not able to do?
As I said, it is only two things. It's not that we don't have technology. Our sugarcane industries are already producing. Only thing is we need policy and market. It is not that we are not working on. We are working on. Now, the government has announced like lot of these 23-24 targets has to be achieved with respect to blending 10 to 15%, and I have read it is even going to increase up to 20%. So in that particular sense, they are incentivized more to produce more ethanol. Automatically we will have, because the technology is in place. It's not that technology is not in place. We are not lacking in technology. We are having technology, but they don't want to go to that particular pathway. That is very highly regulated market where they should not produce ethanol. because that ethanol can also be used for liquor purposes. So they are not allowing it. Whereas now if they use it, whereas in US that is totally different. This kind of things is never used for that purpose, for liquor and alcohol consumption. Whereas this is a separate market, that is a separate market. Where here we have a mixed condition. So that is the core problem of us. If policy and market conditions support, we will definitely. Now if it is changing, automatically things will improve. So now if you look at the production cost and revenue wise, right? So here I have reduced my cost to more than 100% I will get a profit. Whereas if you look at this one, this is the lowest with respect to the thing, where my production cost and revenue do not even match. My production cost is more than the revenue. So I am recovering only 53% of what I spent. So here I can recover 62, 70, 101%. So again, this particular scenario of mine makes it more attractive from an investment point of view. So we have compared the different literatures, how the production cost is looking at versus where we are. So this is one of the critical things when we are carrying out the techno-economic study. So we can put all the things as I shown in the big flowchart. Anything can be possible to put in, you will get a number. But to rationalize it, we need to have a look at the way in which how it is being with respect to literature. So if you look at our study, we are almost about $1 per liter. So which is almost today, if you take for example petrol prices, it is around 110 or 100 rupees. So which is $1.1 or $1.2 per liter. So almost we can produce at the cost of petrol prices too. So now we have shown the method that biorefineries, okay, we can make it economically feasible. So this study, what we have projected, it is a combination of experiments we have done based on the laboratory experiment, as I showed you in the linear and the circular form. So based on the experiment we have done, we have taken out to the pilot scale. Based on the pilot data, we have done the simulation to study whether it is economically feasible or not. So now moving forward, yes.
That is only simulated data or you have actually.
So first part of the work is the laboratory. As I said, like that is where we studied about the microbiological level, how much yeast is growing, how much carbon dioxide. We have carried out batch flask culture techniques and other things. From there, we have taken which kind of optimization work better. That particular process we have taken into pilot scale. So we have put it in a pilot plant. It has capacity of about 1,000 tons or something. So there we have tested it. From there we have done the simulation for the industrial scale, full scale process. So the question now is it environmentally friendly as well? So if you look at the carbon balance, this is another thing which you will not see in many of the literature that I have read. Carbon balance you will not find it. We are trying to solve the problem of carbon, to reduce the carbon. So if we are not showing carbon, then the type of report that we are developing is not helpful to anybody, right? So if you look at the amount of carbon in 1 ton of biomass, if you take 1 ton of biomass, it has about 119 kilogram of carbon, right? So that is being sequestered. From there, if you go through the process, right? From fermenter, I will release carbon dioxide, which is 18 kilogram. From wastewater treatment, 1 kilogram. From the boiler, chimney, it will have 65 tons. And as ethanol, I will have 37 tons. But then this ethanol, when you drive the car, so again it is going to release into carbon dioxide. So the 37 is going back. And if we add all this, then it comes to 190. So this is the cycle in which it's actually completing the entire process, right? So if you take from the environmental perspective of global warming, you can see electricity is on the right, which is positive emission. BET is on the left. BEA is the thing which we have compared. So which is the most environmental friendly option as well. So we have carried out an LCA study with respect to the data, the carbon balance which I have shown you, mass balance data which I have shown you. We have taken all these and put it into the LCA platform, run it, so that we will know clearly what is the thing. So this is only the summary of results. The back end we are working on the lot, how these processes are interconnected. So from there again we compare with the different things in the literature, as we can see with respect to VEA. So that is the most negative thing. So this is all the positive technologies, right? And if you see VE and VE, so these are all the different things which is on the negative side. If you take, I was talking about Jatropha, right? So if you can see Jatropha is on the, so that is why it is no longer considered biofuel from an emission savings perspective. Okay. So the same way for soya oil, or as well as if you are taking pyrolysis based or crude oil, any other kind of technology. Right. So you have technology, environment, economics. Right. So now what we are working on is we are adding more dimension to it. We are talking about the question of why. Right. So there are two other dimensions, which is the policy and market level. Okay. So now we are working, our group is working on all these dimensions, including the social aspects. At the end of the day, it is the consideration. For example, I can develop a technology. Let's say, for example, if we are having an ethanol-based car, right? Still, people want to go for diesel-based car because its fuel efficiency-wise it is cheaper to run for more. Whereas if I am going to bring ethanol-based car, there will not be acceptance. My acceptance is low because it is cost-wise it is higher, and efficiency-wise may not be equivalent to diesel-based engine. Then in that particular thing, if my acceptance is not there, then it is also. So I need to know why I am not accepting. The community, why they are not accepting. So all these dimensions play a major role in a technology commercialization. So with that, I will finish my talk. If you want, I will have another section of the talk on anaerobic digestion where I have a case study to present with respect to time.
Yes, please. So then, regarding the society that we were talking
Yes.
we had a rule that
We have a 2030 target of almost 80% of our vehicles should be rehabbed,
yes.
because it is a part of the global goal which we have already signed as well.
Next generation, maybe there would be a
Maybe, yes.
even if there is a hike in price.
Yes, that is why if you look at the automobile companies, they are giving more features or futuristic way of technology in the electric car than the conventional petrol diesel, so that the acceptance can be attractive.
And I also want to know, is there automobile industries are not doing more research?
No, they are ready. They will supply as per the demand. The demand is increasing. For example, if you take Norway and China are the highest electric vehicle. In Norway, I think they are giving around 6 to 8 lakhs per car in Indian rupees equivalent as subsidy. If the car is around 14 lakhs, it will be almost same as half the price of water vehicle. And electricity is free everywhere. When I was in Ireland, we used to have the electric station when you don't need to pay anything. It is one thing. So those kind of incentives only once that everybody adapt to the technology. Let's say for example in Geotech, they gave free data, free calls. Everyone got used to it. Now they are increasing the price. It should be that any technology will be in that particular way. But we are not going to the particular place. In India, I think we have even in highways we don't have more than 1,000 charging stations across India. But maybe down the line in 3-4 years, things will change. I heard that Tata Power is working with SC for 1,000 points. And also the time it takes to charge and recharge. That is one of the drawback factors in India. Here is like always in time. We don't want to be in time. So that is
We work on holidays also.
yes. But we don't they are not connected. We always work with they are not connected. That is the so it will take. But only thing is in India is we are very receptive to technology. Meaning that we can adapt fast. We don't need like globally if you take any technology will be step by step. But we are disruptive, always disruptive in nature. So once if it kicks off, we can we have shown is completely on the ethanol side, whereas this is a completely different dimension on biogas. So again, there are different contexts or things going around biogas, for example. All of you know about biogas, what they have as brief. Okay, so if you know, then I will skip that particular part. Right. So in this particular, we will show how the modeling approach, again, it is not the economic part of it, rather than predicting the process and automating the process. So we are currently working on process prediction as well as automating it. So we are using a lot of instrumentation based, using it for machine learning and then rerouting it to automatically. It is called as a self-learning bioreactors. So we are working on developing that particular tool. So we have published that particular paper along with a PhD student there in Veltech Technology recently. So anaerobic digestion is a dynamic process. There are several microbiologists, microbes involved in it, and there are different processes are involved in it. So it is very difficult to predict that particular process, right? And several models has talked about steady state condition, but there are very few models which talk about the predicting with the time series on continuous scale, right? It is very rare in literature. So what we have done is we have used a time series based simulation to predict both batch and as well as continuous process. The same model can predict both batch and continuous process. If you look at the literature, most of the models have an accuracy between 80 to 90%, whereas no one tells where is the overloading of the process. So what we have done in this model is we have a different simple index. So what is the volume of a reactor? How much is my reactor temperature? What is the loading rate? And then based on that we have some kinetic parameters. The output will be the methane rate, right? So this is the model. So these are the different equations that govern. For example, in the hydrolysis process, how much is breaking down to simple monomers, and then in the acidogenesis and methanogenesis, how much is the methane that is forming, and then you have the methane gas. Finally, how much is actually converted to gas. So if you look at the result, right? So this particular dot, the red dot over here is the simulated value, whereas 0.26 is the experimental value. So this is for a batch process. In a typical batch process, you put all the feedstock into the particular thing, right? And then over the course of time, you can see that the feedstock is getting integrated to produce methane. But once it finishes up, it will gradually decrease. So this particular thing is not easy to predict. You should also predict the decrease in the thing. Same way, in a continuous process, whenever I am going to feed, I am going to feed continuously. So that means I am reaching a particular steady state condition over here with respect to time. So this, our model can predict almost equivalent to 0.5 and 0.5. So in both of these scenarios, right, if you take the difference, we can predict plus or minus 1%, up to 99% we can be accurate. So we have compared with the different literatures our model in different case studies. For example, we have taken the batch, continuous as well as pilot scale, industrial, laboratory in all the directions. And you can see the difference over this particular column, which is approximately plus or minus 5%. So what we have done with that one is, let's say, okay, I am running at this particular state. Can I increase my loading in the reactor so that my reactor can be efficiently working? So what we have done is, in that particular thing is, so that is the experimental result which we have been projected. But our model can predict different times. Right? So this is 2 gram molar, whereas 3, 5, until then it can increase the gas in. Whereas if you look at after 5, the gas use started to decrease 9 and 1. So this particular thing we can predict with our model. So we know where we are overloading the reactor, where we are running at optimal point. So we have even compared the data in a statistical perspective, and we can see there are no significant difference between the experimental data and the simulated data. Right? And to optimize further more. So now I am over here. based on the flow rate, we can optimize instead of 2, how much it should be. If it is over, you can see the curve of 3, 4.1 and 5. So it is between 3 and 5, but I can still say 4.1 is the better. So that precision level accuracy we can predict out of this particular model. So what? Right? So we can predict everything looking good, but that is not all. If you go to the industry level or the field level, this will not help the industry because they have live challenges and they have a lot of live data coming in. We need to predict on spot. These data I can use it and predict, right? So that will not help the industry to solve the problem. So what we have done is we use the machine learning. So this particular work is yet to be published. We have got the research, we haven't published yet. So machine learning approach to solve the same thing, the same data, right? So if you look at the two different data sets, we have taken the input of PS, ES, all those parameters, and whereas other data set has very minimal. We are not going the process level condition of how much fatty acids or all those CN ratio, etc. Right? So the output parameter remains the same, biogas yield and methane. So in this one we have looked at a different algorithm, and then we have also looked at classification as well as regression. Classification will tell me low, medium, high, whereas regression will tell me the actual numbers. Right? So these are all the different algorithms which we have used. So support vector machine work on the hyperplane where you have this particular zone it will travel, whereas KML you look at one point and see where is my next point. So that based on that if it is optimal then it will go in this direction. Right? Whereas Gaussian process will look at the band in which it is traveling. If the band is moving there, then my values that tend to be moving in that particular way. Decision tree looks at okay, this is higher, then it will go to this. If this is higher, then it will go to this. Or if not, it will go to A greater than B or B greater than C. And ensemble of tree is the same kind of thing, but it will take the average. It is an external version of decision tree where it will take the average. So different trees will be there. So in that, which tree has the best one? So that is the way this particular thing works. So we have looked at the overall flow sheet, and you can see the classification algorithm, regression algorithm. We based on the data we collected from literature, as well as we have collected more than 100 data points from all different kinds of works, and then we have trained the model. So 80% we used for training and 20% for testing, and based on that, if the model accuracy is better, then it will be used for predicting my process. If the model accuracy is low, then I will again optimize that. If the accuracy is low, I will optimize the model to send it back. So now if you look at the result, we are having the predicted response versus true response. That means the actual result versus what we have predicted. We can predict up to 87% accuracy. So with less input. Earlier I showed you 10 different inputs in dataset 1 and 5 inputs in dataset 2. So I don't even need to do my analysis. Basically I can cut my cost in analysis and still I could able to predict the process at a very high accuracy. Right? So this is the different models on which way we have selected. So if you look at the third one, which is dataset 2, right? It has the low mean square error and the mean error. So I am using that particular one with the support vector machine as the best model. So again, here we can do the correlation. So for example, now if you take organic loading rate and retention rate, right? So it is negatively correlated, meaning that I can only improve the loading by decreasing the retention rate. The same is applicable for check for BFA and OLR, right? That means if I increase my loading rate, my BFA will increase. So this correlation will help you to understand how my process is actually performing. So we can predict this can be deployed in real-time data. Any industrial data, this can be deployed. We have also filed a patent on this particular process. So we can predict up to 92% accuracy, and we can use both batch as well as continuous process, and it can be optimized based on loading rate, and we can predict with minimal inputs. That is the basic objective. Industry don't want to spend so much money on lot of analysis and other things. So with minimal inputs, predict the growth. Thank you. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
All these are done on MATLAB.
Now we have moved from MATLAB to Python. But this part of the work is done in MATLAB. The other one we have done it in Simapur and Subat. Subat Pro for economic analysis and Simapur for health. I don't know if is it clear or you have or where I was rushing.
It's clear, but then we are wondering so many parameters.
So
That is because of the software.
no, that is the complexity of the problem which we are not looking at.
Yes.
So that is my agenda or objective for this particular presentation was to tell that it is not a simple problem. We have different dimensions towards it. So what we are doing even from instrumentation perspective is we are taking all these data and we are using a self-learning reactors where it will actually use this data automatically. It will either feed my system or it will reduce my pH or increase my pH so that my reactor is working in an optimum condition. So that's what we are currently working on now. So the thing is, it is different dimension of problem. It is not only okay, let's say microbiology only or process only or it is a different dimension of problem. So we need to have an integrated approach towards the problem solving. So that was the thing which I had presented to you. I think what are the softwares that are pardon? What are the softwares that you are as I mentioned for the machine learning we are using MATLAB. But we are slowly moving towards Python since it is open source. And for economic analysis we are using Sima and for LCA Sima. It is a single standalone simulation. It is only for the modeling simulation. It is not integrated. But visioning we have integrated. That we deploy in a setup. Separately we are whatever visioning we are taking because it has to talk to the reactor in like day analysis. So we have an app development, web app development. So from the web app, the machine learning model is already in place. So it will take and do and then it will feed in.
These systems are also tested by the same.
The previous one, the ethanol was tested in biogas. So biogas, we are in starting. I was working abroad for a long period of time. I came here 2 years back. And since I came, it was COVID as well. So that's why we are working mostly on the simulation and modeling part. Now we have started to test the final lab level reactors. But moving forward, we will be integrated. We have already got good response from industries on this particular thing. So we will be moving towards that. This is actually one of the first of its kind study.
This may convince us, say that this 87%
And it is not based on one study.
Yes.
It is a group of data which is already reported in literature with several things. Yes. The generic aspect of bringing out because many studies report the small level of okay, I have done this is what I am in my case it is working. So but that we cannot be generalized to all the so our approach was that deviation that no, we should not take into our approach. We will develop a model and then we will test it with our data. So that was our approach. So we have developed a model on that particular aspect. Any other? The only problem with the Aspen is Aspen is very good for petrochemical. But when it comes to this biochemistry, the physical properties are not yet sometimes without that. Not necessarily it is not so rigid with respect to the particular. Whereas aspect is so rigid because it is chemical engineering which is very materialist. Whereas in this one, because this is developed for biological purpose, it is mostly used in the pharma industry. You take bio, those people are heavily using the sugar. In India, many pharma industries use sugar for day-to-day problem solving purposes. And in this situation, they are using. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your. This has given a totally new. Thank you.
That was my plan that I don't want to. I never did it about. So I want to. Away.
So thank you so much. Actually, to be very frank, it gave us an idea as to how technology, the policies, the need for the society are interconnected and how we should tune our